they are just gliding on each other. Now I want to set a priority rule. Okay, so I click this priority rules button and use left button to select this link, and I create a stop line. Right click here. I create a stop line, and I right click the target link. For example, here, and I right click here. Oh, sorry. Let me do it again. Here, then here. So the stop line will be marked as red, and the destination or complete marker will be marked as green. Then I will be able to specify the minimum gap time, minimum headway, or the max speed. So let me modify this minimum headway to 10 meters. And in this way, you are going to see these two green signs. So this is conflict marker. This region represents a region that is equal to the my specified minimum headway. And here is another affected link connector. So actually, one priority rule is affecting two connectors. Okay. So if any vehicle is presenting in this area or in this area, this vehicle will not proceed. So that's the result. And the vehicles here will stop. Okay? Understand this? But by doing this, for complex intersection, it will be very, very time consuming. So PDB suggested another solution called conflict areas. It's easier to code. For each conflict area, the users can select the right-of-way for all the conflicting links. There are 3 colors: green, red, and yellow. Green means main road, red means minor road, and yellow means passive, which is undefined. So 3 colors. And let me first show you how it's created. So let me first remove this priority rule by right-clicking here and delete. I select conflict areas, and I double-click here. No double-click, single-click here. You will be able to see these 2 links or connectors are conflict. So if you right-click here, you are going to see the pattern change. Here it means the right hand is the main road, and the through movement is minor road. But this is not a conflict area we want to focus. So let me just change that to right-click, change that back to yellow. Okay. Let me just reset it. Okay. So I can right-click here. No, sorry. I can double-click this area. Then we are going to see a window, a dialog called conflict areas. And we will be able to show all possible conflict area in node 1. We are going to see 60 possible conflict areas in node 1. And if we can find out which one we are going to focus on. So let me try to find out where it is. So I view network elements. For each link, each connector, I label it using a number. For each link, I label it using a number. So this right-hand movement, this is 10,000, and this one is 10,004. So
this is the number for the link or for the
link and connector. So 10,000 and 10,004 will be here. Then I can right-click this one and choose yield, and right-click this one and maybe also choose yield. Or if I want to make this priority, which is major, I can do it. Or right-click. Now I can right click. So the right turn movement will be major and the through movement will be minor. And we can see the result. So now the through movement will yield. They will yield for this right turn. See that? And in this way, the vehicles are behave differently than the case of priority rules. Let me introduce one. For right of way, if a vehicle is on the minor road, it will decelerate if there is no sufficient gap. But this is recalculated for every time step. So if this time step is decelerating, but in the next step it finds a sufficient gap, then it will stop decelerating. For vehicles on the main road, it will only decelerate if another vehicle on the minor road will be still inside the conflict area when this vehicle arrives. So the minor road vehicle will yield to the main road vehicle, but the main road vehicle will also kind of yield to the minor road. To avoid collision. And these are both calculated for every time step, so it's dynamic. In another word, the vehicles are trying to find a gap to cross. They are cooperating to find a gap to cross. So it's different from the priority rule because they don't see other vehicles. By using the conflict areas, vehicles on different roads are actually seeing other vehicles, and they are making their decisions. So it's more intelligent and it's closer to the reality.
And this has to be done for every conflict area spot point?
I guess so.
So you have 60 for one intersection?
Yes, that's very complex.
Very complex.
Yes. The next thing I'm going to talk about is stop sign. We all know stop signs, but in VSIM it's different than NSIM. In NSIM just specifies stop sign at the beginning of the connector. But in VSIM we have two kinds of stop signs. The first one is called the regular stop signs. And the regular stop sign will force the vehicles to stop for at least one time step. But in addition to this, you still have to define the priority rules or conflict areas. So this stop sign just means the vehicle will stop for one time step, but it doesn't guarantee that there will not be any follow-on collision. Okay? Mentally. So both of them should be defined. And it was very annoying for me to because I tried to model a four-way stop sign. And I asked the company for technical support. And they sent me an example of four-way stop sign. So this is a four-way stop using VSIM. You are going to see how complex it is. If I click stop sign, there are 4 stop signs. But if I click priority rule, you are going to see so many stop priority rules defined. And this is impossible for us to do, I guess.
So what would be the easiest way to model unsynchronized intersections in VSIM?
I guess by conflict areas, but later. Let me explain this first. For example, this one. This is a stop line, and this is for vehicle crossing. If I select this and select this, I will see this is the minimum headway. So the vehicle, making kind of, I don't know which movement, making a type of movement, will wait until this part is clear. But they have so many connectors, so they created these many priority rules. It's very difficult to code. And that's why I suggest you to use the conflict areas. Then you just double click this area and show all possible conflict areas in this node, but they haven't created node yet. My suggestion is double click this area and show all possible conflicts within this node. and just manually mark all of them as yield. So, oh, I haven't introduced how to add a stop sign. It's very easy. Click this button, click the link, right click, and you added a stop sign. This will guarantee that the vehicle will stop here. But be very cautious of placing the stop sign. If you place your stop sign, for example here, after the connector, beyond the connector, this stop sign will not have any effect.
And you needed one for the stop sign and one for the priority rule. You need two red bars.
One red bar represents the stop sign. The other red bar represents the stop line for the priority rule. So they should be placed at the same location.
Mm-hmm.
See, in this case, I'm placing the stop sign to ahead. To the front of the link, and it has already go beyond the connector, so it's not working because at this point the vehicle has already traveled on this connector, and that's why they didn't see this stop sign. They didn't pass this stop sign. So this is very complex. Another possibility is called the red turn on red, and it's only activated under red signal. Do we still have some minutes? Let me debug this. Let me try. So this is Amazon. This matrix vehicle type.
How many replicas did you find?
Only one now. Let me double check. Vehicle type. So honestly speaking, I couldn't find a reason for now. I don't know why. But if you follow my step, I think you will be able to do it. Okay, so in my today's homework, originally I was requiring you to use Amazon demo to simulate an unsignalized intersection and to document every operation and include important screen captures. And then use vSim, the student version, to do the same thing. So for this vSim part, I don't require you to add all these conflict areas or priority rules. You just put stop signs. That would be good. Okay? Any question about this? So probably I will put another video to demonstrate how to use Amazon, after the class, to save you some time. Any questions? Okay, thank you.